Hello, hello. Let me try that again. Hopefully you can hear me now. Thanks for all of those who joined us today. We're just getting set up, getting folks logged in. So give us a minute and we will get things kicked off. If you have joined us and you're logged in, if this is your first time attending our call, welcome. Please let us know in the chat that this is your first time and how you heard of Tech for Palestine. And for those dialing in, we have folks attending from all over the world. Would love to hear where you guys are calling from. So drop that in the chat as well. And we will get kicked off in just another minute. All right, I see we had people getting dialed in from all over the world. Thank you for joining us to our monthly community call. If this is your first time attending Tech for Palestine's monthly community call, welcome and thank you for attending. Let us know in the chat that this is your first call and how you heard about us. And for those that are repeat attenders, thank you for coming back and staying tuned. Let us know where you're dialing in from. It'll be great to see. We have folks dialing in from all over the world. We are live streaming this event on all of our social media platforms, on Discord, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're everywhere, so please note that you can join us in a number of ways. This is being recorded and the video will be available to view afterwards as well. For those that are joining us for the first time, Tech for Palestine is a nonprofit focused on scaling initiatives for Palestinian liberation. We support anyone we support anyone with meaningful ideas, whether it's folks working against media censorship, using technology to aid with protest or scale boycotts, pushing for tech divestments. We support Palestinian entrepreneurs and anything else that contributes to a free Palestine. I mentioned that the call will be recorded and streamed on all of our socials, so keep that in mind. You're encouraged to ask questions and share comments at any time. Feel free to drop those in the chat. We have people monitoring the chat, and so we'll get to all questions as soon as we can. Let me tell you a little bit about what we have planned for today. We have a full agenda. We'll have Paul giving us an update on Tech for Palestine, what's been happening, some of the events we've been at, tech in the news, and we'll talk about Tech for Palestine's membership program and share more about that. We will have an update from Tom about the incubator and share with you some of the new projects. We'll talk a little bit more about what the incubator is and share some of our newest projects in the incubator. We are going to share, we have some special guests. We have two members that run two different member teams, and we'll do a little highlight on both of those teams so you could learn more about different membership initiatives and ways you can get involved. We'll also have Alex and Stephen give us an update about one of our incubator projects. So we'll do a deep dive on zines for Palestine, so more to come on that. And I will talk a little bit more about specific volunteering opportunities and other ways you can get involved in supporting our efforts. So with that, I would like to pass it to Paul to kick us off with some org updates. Hi, Paul.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
All right. So, a couple of really exciting stuff coming up. The one of the Tech for Palestine's leaders, Tom Hall, is launching the Tech for Palestine book club series. So this is anyone who knows Tom knows that he's a voracious reader and has read every book about Palestine. And he is turning this into a book series about tech, media, politics, and obviously Palestine. The way that he's doing it is he's bringing on the authors of the books to talk about their book. And his the first one we did a couple weeks ago was with Robin Anderson, and they were talking about her book, The Complicit Lens, which talked about how sort of the media manufactures consent, shaping narratives around conflict, power, public perception. And that one has been made public. It's up on our YouTube, and Tom will be doing this, I believe, every month or so. So we're going to see some really good stuff coming out of that. We just had our Brussels conference on June 6th, which is last Saturday. The lot of really good content. We professionally recorded it all. It's all going to be going up on our YouTube soon. There was 18 speakers, 10 different workshops. We had about 200 people come to it. My personal favorite, obviously, was I got to interview Greta Thunberg on stage. That was I was a little bit fanboying on that. But we had some really great speeches. Diab Abu Jaja from Hind Rajab Foundation, I thought just gave an incredible speech. Heard from Mara Fatafta from Access Now, from News Corps, from Justice 48, Business for Palestine, a bunch of these organizations talking. We were talking about policy, legal, and media bias were kind of the main topics of the conference, and just it was one wonderful conference, if I don't say so myself. And I think that a lot of you will really enjoy it when we put that up on YouTube in the near future. We also had attendance at the Muslim Tech Fest, which unfortunately was on the exact same day as our conference. We would have liked to have been there in a more official capacity, but we took part in an event with Gaza Sky Geeks. And the next thing, next slide, please, is the membership program. So, there we go. There's me and Greta in the early photos that we have. I also got a selfie, but it turned out bad, so I didn't put it on. Greta looks great. I look terrible. Okay.
Sorry.
Should we go to the next one and talk about membership?
Yes. My slides are getting a little hung up here.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much to the team. That was the team there.
Yeah. A little slow today for some reason. All right. Here we go.
Lovely. Okay. So we've pitched it on a number of these calls going over a while, and also at our events. But Tech for Palestine has launched a membership program, and membership is sort of the latest way in which we are trying to scale the movement for Palestine. So as probably everyone on this call knows, the incubator has been what we've been doing over the last 2 years to scale the movement. People come to us with the projects that they're already doing, and we offer them support with marketing, mentorship, advice, connections to the ecosystem, et cetera, et cetera. So what we're starting to do now that is different is that we are starting to create these initiatives within Tech for Palestine. And so with membership, what people do is they come, they join, they pay us some dues, and then they join teams within Tech for Palestine to do the same work often that is being done in projects. But these are ideas that we find valuable. Often they are a little more tech industry focused, which is an area that we are trying to scale up this year. So far, we have there's 90 external projects that we're supporting in the incubator, and then what we have now, I believe 15 teams have been started to do advocacy campaigns, tech tools, things supporting Palestine. We also have about 60 projects internally, or 60 teams internally that are mostly supporting the incubator, but also running Tech for Palestine, doing marketing, compliance, all that kind of fun stuff. So what you can join by going techforpalestine.org/membership. I'm sure someone will be posting the link in whatever channel you're on. But once you come in, we'll get you through a vetting and onboarding call, and then we help place you on a team. You don't have to join a team; you can just support us financially. But we are also trying to scale the advocacy work. So the two are sort of like hand in hand. And I believe that we are going to have a couple of the projects or the teams speak next. Just want to say before we move on to that, it is open to all skill sets. So obviously, builders is a big thing we do at Tech for Palestine. Software engineers, project managers, product managers, all that sort of thing. But it's also fully open to organizers, researchers, marketers, storytellers, activists. It is really about putting the teams together and marshaling what we've learned from the incubator over the last couple of years to doing projects ourselves. And now we are going to have two of the teams tell us about what they're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. And as Paul mentioned, there are many ways to get involved and support. There's a number of different member teams being led by individuals, and we want to highlight two here. We'll continue to highlight different teams as we go to give you a sense of the different types of teams we have and ways you can engage. There's really there's so much to be done. So if you're interested and if you join, we will get you involved based on your interest and skill set. So first, we're going to introduce Ricardo, who joined the T4P marketing team last year, and now is also leading the video creation team. He's based in Silicon Valley. He's been a marketing professional for a decade now, supporting startups, and we're thrilled to have him lead this team. Ricardo?
Yeah, no, thank you for the introduction, Aza. That's great. Yeah, so one of the teams that members could join is the video creation team. And what we aim to do is create short form videos and also long form videos through different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. That I just want to highlight one of the importance of video in today's media landscape. A lot of us learned about what is coming out of Gaza and the West Bank, through viral videos, and that has helped informed a lot of the community and has spurred a lot of people into taking action. So video creation is something that we want to build up and utilize to be able to not just tell the story of what is going on, but also highlight the projects that we are supporting. So that one of the things about building up the video creation team is also creating a repeatable production process. So what does that workflow look like? Video editing and from start to finish can take a while. So even if you don't have direct video editing skills, if you have some type of creative direction skills and script writing, things like that, this might be a team that you can join as well. So we're looking for people that do direct video editing, creative direction, motion graphics, social media. So if that is of interest to you, we would love to have you, because there's so much content out there and a lot of cool stuff that we're doing. So we want to show that visually and throughout all our platforms. So feel free to reach out and join us on the member hub under video creation team.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Ricardo. And as you mentioned, it is such a powerful way to amplify the messaging and get reach such a diverse target audience. So thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with you. All right. Next up, we have Anis, who has also been volunteering with T4P now for about a year and a half. He's based out of Montreal, so on the other side of North America. He has a background in strategy consulting and teaching business administration. When he first joined the incubator, T4P, he was supporting the incubator and is now leading coaching for Palestinian entrepreneurs. I think you found a really good spot for you, Anas. Why don't you tell us more?
Thank you. Thanks for the intro, Azza. Yeah, so hello, everyone. I'm Anas, currently leading the coaching for Palestinian entrepreneurs team. So as you know, Palestinian entrepreneurs are building and running businesses under extremely difficult circumstances, beyond the usual challenges we would find in entrepreneurship. So our goal in this team is to provide practical coaching support to these Palestinians to help them stay resilient, grow professionally, and continue building businesses that will support their families and communities. So how do we do this? We do this by mainly matching Palestinian entrepreneurs with experienced coaches, preparing coaches to understand the Palestinian context and be trauma-informed to be able to provide tailored coaching for Palestinians, and also to train by training people to become coaches and supporting their community. Currently, we have a few key initiatives going on and planned. First, we have an ongoing program with Be Visionary, which is a Palestinian coaching firm, running a cohort-based experience with a group of Palestinian entrepreneurs and focusing on strengthening their founder mindset readiness. So this is the first initiative we have already ongoing since a few weeks ago. We also have additional initiatives starting soon by end of this month and beginning of next month. And we have now applications open for these. So the first one, it's a program in partnership with a coaching firm called Coaching Minds, which is dedicated to build Palestine Entrepreneurs Network. And the idea, it consists of matching them with professional coaches for individual one-on-one coaching. Another initiative starting soon, which looks very promising actually. We have had several applications so far. It's again in partnership with Coaching Minds. And in this initiative, we are offering scholarships to train Palestinians to become certified professional coaches themselves, which will help create new revenue streams for them, and also help us build a growing network of Palestinians coaches who can support their peers and their own communities. So looking ahead for this, our future plan for this team is to expand coaching beyond Palestinian entrepreneurs to be able to support the broader movement, including T4P project teams and other pro-Palestinian advocates. So currently we are working on developing other partnerships to be able to launch this kind of initiatives. So that's it for me. Maybe 3 calls to actions for you. First one, if you think you can bring something to this team, whether ideas, experience, partnerships, or whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. Second, if you are a professional coach or know some professional coaches, would really love your support, because we're actively building a network of coaches who want to contribute and provide coaching not only to Palestinian entrepreneurs, but also across the wider movement. And as I said earlier, we want to develop and announce new coaching initiatives and program to extend this support beyond Palestinians and entrepreneurs. So stay tuned to apply to these programs once we launch them. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anas. And yeah, I love the direction you're taking this. I wish you all the best with what you're trying to do here. Very important work. Thank you. So these are 2 examples. Like I mentioned, there are many ways to get involved. And so please, if you're interested in either of these teams, reach out to us. Or if you have other ideas, the membership program is a really powerful way to tap into a network of like-minded people, of experts, of individuals, and really make a difference. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Paul to give us an update on current affairs and tech in the news.
Thank you, Azza. Couple of really interesting things have been happening around tech in the movement this month, and one of the biggest ones here is that Google was informed of its liability in Israel's genocide. And what we mean by that is that a group of lawyers, legal advocates, legal experts from the Abolitionist Law Center, the Center for Constitutional Rights and Tech Justice Law, have presented Google leadership with a report, a statement laying out how Google is specifically liable in the genocide through providing their support. Are people able to hear me? People are saying that they can't hear me. Okay. Okay, we're good. So the article is very, very interesting from the perspective, if you haven't gotten a full understanding of Google's complicity, it really lays it out very well. It talks about the Nimbus contract, of course, which many people will be familiar with, but also it talks about specific things such as how Google changed its terms of service to allow Israel to basically do anything that it liked and to not use Google's terms of service for Israel. It highlights how Google had been informed before it started the contract about their liability in Israel's crimes against humanity. It talks about how Google Photos was specifically misused it was made accessible to contribute to vast violations of like mass violation of human rights by Israel. It talks about the propaganda contract where Google has received $45 million to do propaganda ads for Israel, and if anyone is uses Google, then you're searching for something Palestine, often you'll find that Israel has ads for specific propaganda on Google, and then of course the GDPR violation. So Google it processed Palestinian data without consent. And the violations of GDPR are estimated to amount to about $16 billion in fines. So what's particularly interesting about this is not those narratives, though, or those stories. So if you haven't come across those stories, it really does lay it out very well. But it is more this pointing out that Google is specifically complicit. After the Nuremberg trials, the people who had been involved in the Holocaust, in particular people who provided Zyklon B to the Nazis, which were used in the death camps, those folks were actually executed after the Nuremberg trials. That is the level of complicity that we're talking. Google is a much more modern form of it, but Google's participation in the genocide is this is not nothing. This is not propaganda. This is not a narrative or a joke. This is there are real legal repercussions for Google here. The next thing to talk about is Microsoft. We're going through all of big tech. So Microsoft. Last time we talked, we pointed out what was happening about Microsoft's surveillance of Palestinians. There was an article in The Guardian that showed how Azure had been used to surveil Palestinians, millions, I think it's a million minutes per hour or per day, I can't remember which it was, of content from Palestinian phone calls that was being recorded using Azure servers. It is believed that those servers were in the EU as well. So Microsoft has now acted upon that. They fired the general manager of Microsoft Israel and several of the key leaders in Microsoft Israel. I think we should all be, fully aware that Microsoft was complicit, not just Microsoft Israel. It is well known that Satya Nadella had conversations with the head of Unit 8200, and that he was fully informed and briefed on this. So they are scapegoating, obviously, but also what is clear here is that Microsoft is actually being forced into action by doing these things. One of the other things that was really interesting that came out in the article is that Microsoft claimed that that its Israeli staff had lied to the parent company, about how about what the Israeli team, the subsidiary, was doing, and that in particular it said that Microsoft said that its Israeli subsidiary and members of the Israeli subsidiary had more loyalty to its own military than it did to the company. And it's like, yeah, this is what we've been telling all of you. Everyone who's promoting this, who's promoting Zionism, whether they're suppressing things on social media, whether they're, influencing, any of these big tech companies, or often small tech companies where, it's been well documented how they're doing it. yeah, this is something that they're doing because they have loyalty towards Israel. This is very clear, and it is certainly interesting to see Microsoft come out and actually say that, and that was quoted in one of the, or that was reported in one of the Guardian articles. There are much more to go here. This is only a very small step. Microsoft has claimed that it is doing an investigation into this. So this should be really the first step of many. And this, this step is a very, very small step, but it is something that is showing that repercussions are actually coming to these companies. And Microsoft is not doing this out of the good of itself. Microsoft is doing it to cover its ass and possibly to keep Satya Nadella out of The Hague. So last thing that we want to highlight is this post that I did with, or this podcast I did with Ahmed Eldin. This was published recently, but it was actually recorded back in February at Web Summit. And since then, Ahmed Eldin was actually arrested by the Kuwaitis, held in jail for 6 weeks, and had his citizenship stripped by the Kuwaitis for, I believe the claim is that he published videos about maybe Kuwait downing US jets. I'm not sure if it is actually specifically known what that is. But that is why he was believed to have been jailed. So did a conversation with him, about 30-minute podcast. I thought it was one of the most interesting podcasts that I had done. So that, honestly, I didn't put this here. They tell me what to say, but I guess this was something that other people in the team also found was pretty good. So we were talking about speaking out, collective action, and also a lot of the tech stuff, how AI surveillance and platform governance has been involved, and why more people aren't speaking out.
All right, thank you, Paul. Great updates, lots going on. And now we want to pass it over to Tom from the incubator. I see we have questions coming in. We'll answer, we'll get time to questions at the end. So we see them and we'll address them at the end. So with that, I'll pass it over to Tom.
Great, thank you, Elsa. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So real quickly, before I start on the incubator spiel, just a couple of things that came up through earlier comments. Ricardo was talking about the importance of video creation, content creation. I can attest, before I became a voracious reader of books about Palestine, I learned most of what I learned from TikTok. So that's I think that it's really important, and obviously it's really important because that's why they worked so hard to try to shut down TikTok. So also regarding the book club that we just started, this is breaking news, but next Tuesday I will be talking to Salman Abu Sitta about his book Mapping My Return. Salman was a child during the Nakba and was exiled from Gaza, or not Gaza, but Palestine near Gaza, and has spent his entire life trying to work on how he might possibly be able to return someday to his land. So he started something called the Palestine Land Society, which you should definitely look up and follow. And he also happens to be the uncle of Ghassan Abu Sitta, who's the really outspoken surgeon who's been to Gaza a number of times and done really incredible work there. So yeah, so that being said, the incubator is what has been the kind of the beating heart of Tech for Palestine since the early days. And essentially what we do is, when somebody has a project that they are working on or that they want to start building, and it is, advocacy for Palestinian liberation, and it we think that we can help them, and they think that we can help them, and it can have impact at scale, then we accept them into the incubator. And what we provide is basically mentorship, which is borrowed from the experience of Silicon Valley startup generation. Like how do you build and scale a startup? We take those principles and we apply them to largely nonprofit, some for-profit advocacy initiatives. We just had a call with and accepted into the incubator a young woman from Gaza earlier today who has built a really amazing app. I'm really looking forward to sharing the details about that with everybody. But just being able to have that sort of impact is just it just really means the world to us. So in addition to mentorship through office hours, we also offer marketing help, social media launch help. We have a large pool of volunteers we can connect people with. We provide small monthly grants of $300 for operational expenses when projects request it. And we also have a lot of connections to the broader ecosystem that we can leverage to connect people and help them grow and scale their initiatives. So with all that being said, let me tell you about some of our latest projects that have joined the incubator. So first off, we have Bulletin. So Bulletin is a media platform built for people who've lost faith in the news. It's powered by ethical on-device AI and curates quality journalism from independent publishers into one trusted feed, with 90% of revenue going straight back to the journalists who earn it. There's no surveillance, no manipulation, no algorithmic race to the bottom, just a sustainable privacy-first model that puts readers and publishers first. Next, we have Jazz Connect. Jazz Connect maps and amplifies the growing Jewish opposition to Zionism and the Israeli state, voices largely excluded from mainstream discourse, by consolidating Jewish anti-Zionist individuals and organizations into a single accessible record. It exposes the false claim that Zionism speaks for all Jews and equips activists, educators, and journalists with a powerful resource for advancing Palestinian liberation and accountability. And, I think any of us who have been in the movement for a while know that there are a lot of Jewish anti-Zionists who get called self-hating Jews and all sorts of exclusion and censorship from the Zionists. So this will be a great resource for helping people in the movement identify basically Jewish anti-Zionists who are worth elevating and supporting and promoting. The next one is Bazaar. Bazaar is a Gaza-born marketplace app that transforms local buying and selling by replacing chaotic Facebook groups with a simple, organized, and trusted platform. It empowers individuals and small businesses to reach the right audience, improve visibility, and connect more efficiently. Designed for Gaza's reality, Bazaar brings clarity, accessibility, and fairness to the local digital market. Next, we have Mumble, which is spelled MWMBL. It's a nonprofit search engine with its own index, trying to compete with the big ones. The goal is to provide a gateway to the world's knowledge that is free from big tech bias and led by the community. And last but not least, Drupedo. Drupedo is a Wix alternative with a focus on ease of use, accessibility, and creating opportunities for our users. It simplifies both building and selling of sites of all sizes, and it has a unique create and distribute derivative works ecosystem, which enables collaborating with others co-selling projects. And I actually met the creator of Drupedo at our Barcelona conference and got to talking to him, and he was just telling me about this project, and I said, that's amazing, you should apply to the incubator. And he did, and now he's in the incubator. So yet another benefit of our community building attempts of these events. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you, Aza.
Yeah, thank you, Tom, and welcome to all of our newest incubator projects. Wish you all lots of success. What we want to do now is we want to talk about, we want to spotlight, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, Zines for Palestine. We want to welcome Alex and Stephen. Thank you for joining us. I'll share a little bit about them, and then I will pass it over to them. So Alex and Stephen, Alex is from Nebraska. Yes, we can hear. You're all good. Alex is from Nebraska.
Hi, I'm Steven, half of the team of Scenes for Palestine, and we're coming to you from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I wanted to start with a housekeeping note that there may be some background noise because we're coming to you from San Juan, Puerto Rico specifically because internet is a challenge in the colonial context of Puerto Rico, so we've driven 2 hours to be here with you this morning, but I apologize for that. We'll mute if any big trucks come by. We are Zines for Palestine, and rather than trying to get into the history, the long history and tradition of zines, which goes back at least half a century in America, we are, it's sufficient to know that that long history and tradition is to make physical media that subverts the mainstream discourse and really puts the power of narrative into the people's hands. And so that history is making information incredibly accessible, cheap, and personalized. And so once the Zionist entity escalated into full-blown genocide about 3 years ago, we decided to deploy this type of tech to subvert the narratives that we saw that were so problematic. I've been making scenes about Puerto Rico, about colonialism, about history and science for about 10 years. And we've seen that as a great opportunity to make zines that can reach the whole world. We decided to develop our zines as an open source model that can be accessed by anybody across the world. And our first avenue to reach people has been to tap into the subculture of zine lovers that is very robust, not only in America, but across the Anglophone world. And we've been able to send zines to events from the west coast of the US to Canada to the UK to Vietnam. It's actually been incredibly successful, really blowing our mind in the last 8 months or so working with Tech for Palestine.
And so these are some of the key goals of our initiative, and it's accessibility, like Stephen's talking about, getting it out via the internet, but they're physical things that you can hold and share. Primarily education and liberation are the things that we are putting in the content of the zines.
What's been most important, especially throughout these last few years, as so many people are receiving their information from digital platforms, we've really tried to disrupt that divide of organizing online that doesn't reach the physical world, the people's day-to-day lives. And so the model of being able to access these through open source and print them yourselves has really been an opportunity, and we've heard this from so many people that have participated from their end. It's been an opportunity to engage with people, to have a difficult conversation, and it's been really incredible. You can hand somebody a small piece of paper, and that can explain everything else you can't get to in 30 seconds of meeting with somebody face to face. And so it's been really incredible to be able to take, especially information that we've taken from the digital space, and make it accessible in the physical across borders, across languages.
Yep, and the back of all of the zines have a QR code, and so we're able to see digitally how people are engaging with the zines.
One of the surprising, unfortunately, but very important aspects of Zines for Palestine is that our research that we have put into all of the zines, as many people know, as many are aware, so much of the details. Much of the details of what has happened throughout this genocide has been erased from online. Posts are being taken down, stories are being censored, etc. Everybody is well aware of this, and so unfortunately, but fortunately, our zines have also served as a sort of time capsule to make sure that we're preserving these facts that are going out, that are living in people's bookshelves for years, as all these narratives online are being erased or changed or co-opted. So that's been a surprising but exciting success of the project as well.
And so people are coming to these zines from different communities, from all walks of life. And so we have a number of different avenues for people to enter into the conversation with. And so some of the first zines we made were for our community. And so they're agriculture based, or they're based around conversations that have been happening in our community, and we've slowly grown out from there. And so we have a number of different places for people to land when they come in to see our zines and the information we're sharing. And so this is a how to make a zine, and I just shared it in the YouTube chat, so you can download it and take it home if you want. And so basically it has different pages that shows you the different aspects of how we make zines, but there are an infinite way to make zines. There are tons of tutorials online. Just because we do it this way doesn't mean it's the best way. It's just the way that we found to get the information into a little piece of paper the easiest. And so we'd love if people would download the zines and share them in their community, or by using the template that we shared, make a zine of your own, because I know that you're going to speak to your community better than we can, being not of your community. And so there's our website where you can download everything, and places to connect with us on socials. And we wanted to shout out a couple volunteers who have been so helpful in supporting our efforts. Folks who downloaded all the zines to test our website and test to make sure they were printable wherever they are in the world, and folks who have offered really supportive, constructive feedback on how the website should function, and then other folks who have gone and found research for us, because we struggle with connectivity and we can't always find the things that we're looking for. So we really, really, really appreciate the volunteers. Thank you so much.
And thank you both. I know with the challenges in the background, so yeah, it worked out great. I didn't get to do a proper introduction, so sorry about that. But I will just take a quick minute to say, so Alex and Stephen are married. They actually met at a university program, university art program. And as they mentioned, they now farm in rural Puerto Rico. Before farming, Alex worked as an adjunct professor teaching welding and anti-colonial materials, and Stephen previously worked in public health, building public gardens with culturally appropriate foods in Section 8 neighborhoods. And yeah, it's beautiful to see the agricultural love that's been instilled in you, and amazing work you're doing. So thank you so much for joining, and we wish your project all the best success. All right, so with that, I will move to volunteering updates. So like Alex and Stephen mentioned, so much of what we do is dependent on our volunteers from all over the world. So we would love, if you have the time, there are many ways you can get involved. You can become a member. We talked about the membership program. We're just launching it, and already we've seen amazing success, and things are really starting to take off. We hope to scale to several thousand membership initiatives that we're driving, connecting hopefully hundreds of thousands of people around the world in support of the important work we're doing. You could also become a volunteer supporting one of our many projects that Tom and Alex and Stephen talked about. There are very specific roles. We post them on our website, so oftentimes people are looking for specific skill sets or expertise, and that's a great way to get involved and directly contribute hands-on supporting a project or a membership initiative that you're excited about. We also have created a Discord community and a Signal community called Mighty Missions. These are designed for anyone really, but if you're short on time or can't regularly commit, this is a great way for you to get involved when you're available. We typically release at least one, if not several, Mighty Missions a week. These are small but very impactful actions you can take. They typically take 10-15 minutes max for you to do on your own. And it's a great way to support projects or teams that need user testing, feedback support, want to amplify a message, spread the word about an event or about a project. So very quick, easy things to do, and yet very meaningful and impactful for our project teams or member teams requesting this. I will talk about a couple of urgent volunteer needs. We have many, so definitely check out our website. We keep that updated regularly. We're posting new roles all the time, but a couple of important ones that I'll call out: social media specialists and content managers. We talked about the importance of social media and the way we can really reach diverse audiences and amplify messaging. This is a constant need we have for all of our initiatives. So if you have these skills, expertise, in any way, whether you're really deep on copywriting or content creation or graphics or video, whatever it may be, I bet you will have a way to use your skills on one of our projects. If you just have a couple hours a week. I think the main thing with all of our volunteer roles is just the reliability and the availability to commit regularly, a few hours a week, consistently show up. That can make all the difference in the world for many of our initiatives. We also need grant writers. This is becoming an increasing need. This is a powerful way to tap into funds that many of our initiatives could desperately use. There's, grant writing is a very specific skill and process, and having expertise that have the experience, understand how to submit applications, what to look for, how to draft, how to find eligible grants that will be relevant depending on the project, nature of the project. Very important skill set. And again, just a few hours a week can make a big difference. We also have a number of needs for our online events operation team. So the team that brings you not only the monthly community calls, but the events like Tom's Book Club, a number. We host online events and workshops, community sessions on a regular basis. This will continue to expand and grow. So if you have skills and interest in things like event producing, running shows, operating tools like StreamYard, technical, platform technical support, assisting with tools like Zoom, chat moderators, helping us monitor the chats and getting the questions to whoever is presenting and can answer them. So a number of things, even supporting the recording and post-production process after our events. It doesn't take a lot of time. The power of having many volunteers is if you have an army of people that can commit 5 hours a week, it really can make a big difference. And so if you have the time and the interest, please reach out and let us know. You can go to our website, learn more about the roles. You could submit a volunteer submission form, or you can email us at volunteering@techforpalestine.com. .org. And we'll drop all of that in the chat, so you'll have the correct information there. All right, there are many ways you can help us. So we talked about volunteering. T4P is a nonprofit org. Donations are always welcome. If you don't have the time to contribute, but you want to donate or know of potential donors that would be interested in this cause, we'd love for you to share more about what we do and get them in touch with us. And you can also continue to amplify our message. Join us on these calls, join us on the Discord, join us in our membership program, tell a friend, follow us on our social medias. There's, again, another great way to amplify our community and our reach through your own network by following us, reposting, sharing information about Tech for Palestine. Before I wrap up, I will pause to see if we have any questions we want to go through and maybe invite back. I'm just going to check our notes and ask our team, are there any questions we want to address? I think I saw a couple coming in. There was a comment about the Coaching for Palestinians, great initiative. Amal, MN Initiative is doing something similar. Maybe there's an opportunity for cooperation. Enes or Paul or Tom, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but it's definitely something we can look into and explore. And I have heard of MN Initiative, so thank you for that suggestion. There's a question, and maybe I'll ask Paul if he wants to join us about what's the difference between joining Discord and being active here compared to joining the membership program. This is a great question for you, Paul.
Yeah. So the Discord is something that we started about 2 years ago, and it has been a real sort of like free-for-all. Lots of great community happening there. Also, just people are tell us a lot that they're confused by everything that's happening in Discord. There's just a lot there, and also it's a public Discord, and it's also on a platform that we don't control. We haven't had any problems with Discord, but the question comes up a lot. So when we started making the membership program, we discussed, right, do we want to do this on Discord, or do we want to start it on a separate platform that is self-hosted? And we ended up going on a separate platform that is self-hosted. We plan to invite people from Discord into that membership program, but we didn't want to do harm to the Discord community. It's a lovely community for the people who are taking part in it, and there are 10,000 members and 500 people who are active at all times. So we created our Mattermost and the sort of membership community as a complement to the Discord, and I think that we'll be keeping both of them long term.
Great, thank you, Paul. And that looks like all the questions we have. So I just want to say thank you again to all of our speakers. A special thanks to Ricardo and Enes for sharing more about your initiatives, and Stephen and Alex for sharing more about Zines for Palestine. And everyone that behind the scenes that makes this possible. So thank you to our team. I know it takes a lot to coordinate this, managing content and speakers and scheduling. So we appreciate your support, and all of you, all of our members and volunteers and folks that show up and stay involved. So thank you very much. And we will see you next time. Our next community call is July 8th. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.